Welcome back to the burrow, my beautiful philosophians. I'm Critter, your resident overthinking gremlin, and today we are staring once again into the existential void, aka part 6 of our 10-part series, Press Start to Detach, letting go of what you cannot control. If you survived part 5, keeping composure under pressure, congrats! And if not, how about you press pause and go check it out, because now we're diving into the art of strategic surrender, where horror games like Phasmophobia and Dead by Daylight teach us to stop white-knuckling life's chaos. And yes, your free therapy-grade loot is waiting below my 10 dumb smart tools to outwit your brain PDF, because apparently I enjoy weaponizing game logic against your perfectionism. And pro tip, download it now before your inner control freak starts drafting a 5-year plan for this video. There is a moment in Phasmophobia when even veteran hunters must make peace with chaos. You've circled the ghost room with salt and sensors, documented evidence with clinical precision, and whispered its name like a solemn incantation, only for the spirit to manifest in the wrong hallway, hunt prematurely, or ignore your protections entirely. In these moments, the game reveals its deepest lesson. No amount of preparation can domesticate the unpredictable. The same truth echoes through Dead by Daylight's asymmetrical slaughter, where survivors clinging to perfect strategies inevitably meet the killer's blade, and Friday the 13th the game, where Jason's arrival reduces careful plans to screams in the dark. Horror games, at their core, are masterclasses in relinquishing control, and in doing so, they teach us how to stop suffering over the uncontrollable. The horror genre understands something fundamental about human psychology. Our greatest torments spring not from external threats, but from our white-knuckled grip on how things should unfold. In Phasmophobia, this manifests when players rage against ghosts that refuse to follow the rulebook, the revenant that wanders outside its room, the phantom that won't appear on cue. Their frustration mirrors our own when life resists scripting. We pour energy into controlling careers, relationships, and futures, only to encounter the equivalent of a shade ghost walking through crucifix barriers. Reality doesn't care about our safeguards. The players who thrive are those who adapt, rather than resist, who treat each investigation as a dance with chaos rather than a war against it. Dead by Daylight takes this further by weaponizing unfairness. Survivors can master looping techniques, coordinate perfect generator repairs, and still fall to a killer's tunneling strategy or basement hook. The game's brilliance lies in how it mirrors life's asymmetries. Sometimes the other side holds all the power. Survivors who fixate on deserved escapes burn out. Those who learn to appreciate narrow escapes, heroic sacrifices, or even absurd deaths, blundering into the killer's arms while vaulting a window, find longevity in the fog. Their secret? Recognizing that while they can control their actions, they cannot control the trial's outcome. This is the heart of Stoic philosophy dressed in horror tropes. Suffering comes not from events, but from our insistence that events conform to our expectations. Friday the 13th, the game, drives the lesson home through sheer systemic brutality. You can barricade every door, stockpile firecrackers, and position the car for a perfect escape, only for Jason to morph directly into your path, or a teammate to panic and crash the vehicle. The game's most memorable moments aren't flawless victories, but chaotic scrambles where players laugh through their demise. There's freedom in the surrender. The same freedom found when we stop demanding life follow our scripts. Horror games reveal that our obsession with control is often just fear wearing a disguise. Fear of randomness, of vulnerability, of admitting that we were never the architects of our fate to begin with. This isn't to advocate passivity. The best Phasmophobia teams still methodically gather evidence. Dead by Daylight survivors still optimize builds, and Friday the 13th counselors still strategize, but they do so with open hands, not clenched fists. They understand that preparation is a tool for influencing outcomes, not guaranteeing them. When the ghost ignores their smudge sticks or Jason intercepts their escape, they don't crumble. They file it away as another story in the anthology of unpredictable horrors. The true horror is not the loss of control. It's the realization that we never had it to begin with. These games work as psychological pressure valves, letting us practice surrender in environments where the stakes feel life or death, but are ultimately consequence-free. Each failed exorcism, each sacrificial hook, each doomed sprint from Jason is a microdose of disillusionment, teaching us to separate effort from entitlement. By the time we face face real-world equivalents, careers that stall despite perfect plans, relationships that fracture despite heartfelt effort, we've already learned the most liberating truth horror can offer. Sometimes, survival means letting the ghost win this round, stepping back into the shadows and waiting for the next hunt to begin. If this video helped you realize that sometimes the bravest move is to let the ghost win, how about you do yourself a solid? Smash that like button to confuse the algorithm gods, and your own need for validation. Comment your most chaotic, I surrendered and it was glorious moment. Subscribe because part 7, Silence as the ultimate power move, is coming to teach you the real horror game meta. And remember, whether you're escaping Jason or your own overthinking, the burrow is always open. See you next time, Philosophians.